Hello everyone, even today we are going to solve problem on liquidation of companies. Okay, as usual, so we'll start with the question first. We'll understand the question, then we'll move on to solution. Okay, so the question here is KBC company went into voluntary liquidation on 1/4/22. The liquidator is entitled to remuneration of 3% on asset realized. So we are going to pay the remuneration on asset realized value. So here the asset realized is 5 lakh. So in this 5 lakh we are going to calculate 3%. That is that much amount is going to be paid as a remuneration. And next point, 2% on total final amount distributed to the shareholders. So final how much amount we are going to pay to equity shareholders or the preference shareholders, and that value we are going to calculate. So this value is uncertain, isn't it? So how we are going to calculate? This value will be calculated as amount into rate divided by 100 plus rate, because the rate is not fixed, isn't it? That's why we are going to solve in like this only. Next, the following informations are related to the asset realized and the liabilities. Okay, so asset realized including asset given as a security 5 lakh. So liquidated expenses 9,000. Creditors, so here the creditors including salaries, wages due treated as preferential creditors 6 lakh. Loans of 25,000, of which as a security realized is 18,000. Total 68,000. Here they have creditors, they have given as a total value, which means total creditors they have given 68,000. In this, preferential creditors is 6,000. Secured creditors is 18,000. So unsecured creditors value we have to calculate. So unsecured creditors 68,000 minus 18 and minus 6,000, you will be getting 44,000 as unsecured creditors value. You got it right? So total creditors is 68,000. In this they have mentioned preferential and secured creditors. If you deduct that from the total, means obviously we'll get unsecured creditors value. Okay, next, preference shareholders they have given 5,000, 6% preference. This 6% they have given in order to calculate dividend. Okay, preference shares of 30 each, dividend paid up to 31st March. The total value of preference they have given 1,50,000. 10,000 equity shares of 10 each, but 9 paid up. 90,000 is the value of equity shareholders. They have given general reserves, profit and loss balances. This one we are not going to consider in the liquidator's final statement. Next, see, they have given a additional point here. Under the articles of association, the preference shareholders have the right to receive 1/3 of the surplus remaining after repayment of the equity share capital and the arrears of the dividend, which means if there is any excess amount available even after paying to equity shareholders, for example, if we are having 50,000, means that 50,000 will be divided between equity and preference shareholders. So preference shareholders will get 1/3, in that 2/3 will be paid to equity. So which means in this question they have clearly mentioned the company is having excess value. So we have to find that excess value, then we are going to distribute among the shareholders. Okay, let's solve the problem now. So the format is receipt amount, payment amount. As usual, we are going to start with debit side, receipt. So receipt, first asset realized value we are going to start. So asset realized 5 lakh. So this is the value they have given. This asset realized is including securities realized. Okay, so next, so total will be 5 lakh. Why I am writing this? In order to identify the excess amount or the surplus we are going to have, or the shortage value. In order to compare that, beginning only I am writing the total. Okay, so debit side completed. Credit side, first one securities, secured creditors, secured creditors I have solved in the question. 18,000 is the value. Next, we are going to pay to liquidation expenses next. So liquidation expenses in question they have given 9,000. Next, liquidators remuneration. Why we are going to start liquidators, isn't it? Liquidators remuneration, this is the manner, this is the order wise we are going to pay to the liability holders. Okay, so this is the manner we are going to solve the problem. So liquidator final statement means only this one, this. So first we are going to recognize the asset realized. After assets realized, we are going to orderly manner we are going to pay to the liability holders, like secured creditors, liquidation expenses, liquidators remuneration. This is the orderly manner we are going to pay. The first one is liquidator remuneration. We are going to pay to the, I'll just use different colors. Okay, yeah. So first they have given 3% on asset realized. So asset realized value is 5 lakh. So 5 lakh into 3%, that is 15,000, the value. Next, we are going to pay 2% on amount distributed to shareholders. They have not mentioned preference or the equity. They have totally given us a shareholders, which means we have to consider both preference and equity. Okay, we don't know this value. We need to wait till the liabilities are being paid. So next, we have to calculate the remuneration. Till before that we have to pay to other creditors. So we don't have any debentures here, so I'm going to pay directly to the preferential creditors. How much they have given in the question? They have given 6,000. Next, unsecured creditors. Unsecured creditors we only calculated. So this is the value of unsecured creditors. So unsecured creditors value is 44,000. So next, now we have to calculate amount distributed to shareholders. So I'll solve in this. So now you will get to know the concept clearly. Yeah. So now we have to calculate amount distributed to shareholders. For this, how we are going to calculate? So we have to total receipt, you have to write it down here. So total receipt is 5 lakh. In that 5 lakh we have to deduct all the payment. So total payment we are going to minus it. So total payment we have here. So I'll just mark it. The secured creditors, preferential liquidation expenses, asset realized remuneration, preferential creditors and unsecured creditors. We have to total all these things. So if you add all that, you'll be getting 92,000 as the value. So 4,08,000 is the asset realized. You got it? So in this we are going to calculate the remuneration now. So I'll write it here. Remuneration, how much percentage they have given on the 4,08,000, we have to calculate 2% divided by 102. So the value will be 8,000. Okay, so go on right here, remuneration as 8,000. So I'll just erase it. So 8,000 is the remuneration. Next we have to calculate amount we are going to pay to the preference shareholders. First, before calculating the surplus, let us pay them the actual share they have invested now, that we will be paying now. So preference shareholders, they have share capital value as share capital 1,50,000. They have the rights to get the dividend. How we are going to calculate the dividend? 1,50,000 into 6%. Will be getting dividend of 9,000. Okay, 9,000 dividend. Next, we will also pay to the equity shareholders capital. How much they have paid up capital, that much we are going to give. So 90,000 paid up capital they are having. Let's check whether the surplus amount available or not. So 5 lakh. So we have to minus all these things. So I'll write it in the working note itself. So already we have calculated certain things. In this we are going to calculate again. We are going to minus remuneration first. Recently calculated now, that one. Remuneration 8,000 minus. So we are going to pay to the preference share capital, right? So preference share capital is 1,50,000 minus their dividend 9,000, again less equity. This equity shareholders have the paid up capital of 90,000. If you minus it, we are going to get 1,51,000 as surplus. This is the surplus. So we are going to write it as surplus amount available to shareholders. This surplus amount is being divided between equity and preference shareholders, isn't it? So this surplus will be divided among the equity and the preference. In question, for the preference shareholders, they have mentioned they have the right to receive 1/3, which means equity shareholders will get 2/3. So 1,51,000 into 1/3, which means the value of 50,333, and 1,51,000 into 2/3 will be 1,667. This is the amount, surplus amount distributed among the shareholders. So we are going to write this in the format. So I'll write it in red color. Okay, so surplus distributed to first point will be for the preference shareholders 50,333, for equity shareholders 1,667. This is how we are going to distribute the excess amount. In case of shortage, they are not going to get at all, isn't it? So this is how we are going to solve the problem. Very easy concept. Hope you all understand the problem. If you have any doubts, please comment in the comment section. If possible, I try to solve your doubts. Okay.